and we'll open it up. Coach Moore statement.
All right. They got me. First of all, I want to kind of recap last Saturday evening. Very proud of our guys. Proud of them finding a way. A lot of adversity. We knew coming into that environment that we were going to get their absolute best shot. We felt like that they were much better than their record indicated, which I had shared that all of last week. A team that was 27-3 of the teams that had beaten them, and so we knew that we were going against a team that was improving, a team that a play here and a play there would definitely been a different outcome in some of those games. But regardless of that, it was coming off an open week, and that was something we focused on, was just how can we as a team get better, focusing on SMU, especially off of our last performance at Houston where we felt like we gave some opportunities away. The possessions were limited. It was a very different feel. We've been averaging somewhere around 16 possessions a game, and to be cut 5 possessions, and I believe we got 11 possessions out of it. Now they got 10 possessions, so it was just there were a lot of long drives on both sides of the ball that kept the clock moving. So anytime you're in that situation as an offense, every possession matters. We only had 1 3 and out, and that was the one that was right there at the end of the game. But was very proud again of our players. We won the turnover margin 2-1. It's part of our goals coming into each week. We knew we were going to get their best shot. I thought offensively, Ben Hicks played exceptionally well. Very proud of the way he's played each of the last few weeks. He put us in a position to win a ball game, especially on the 4th and 26, and using his legs to get outside and buy time to allow our receivers to get to the sticks. Thought we ran the ball efficiently. Probably could have ran a little bit more at times, but we ran efficiently, and felt like we ran strong with it. I think we got a great combination of 3 running backs, 3 competitive guys that want the ball. I thought Xavier Jones is probably as good as I've seen him run since he's been back over the this past season. We continue to play very good third down offense, and that's always a plus. We had 2 opportunities and went forward both on 4th down. And again, proud of our guys, the way they responded. Cortland Sutton and Trey Quinn continue to give each other a great compliment, and how you're going to play those guys. And then obviously James Prochet fits into this mix as well. He's a very talented wide receiver that we're very proud of as well. Defensively and coming out, our players of the game were Trey Quinn and Ben Hicks. Defensively, our player of the game was Rodney Clemens. It was really good to see Rodney play better. That's probably the best he's played this year. Really challenged him after coming off of the Houston game. I did not think he played very consistent. He's played up and down all year long. And our challenge to Rodney now is to remain at that level. We know there's going to be variance in your play, but the variance can't be up and down like it has been. We want a slight variance in the play. Defensively held them to 8 points in the second half. Created 2 turnovers in the second half, none bigger than the last one. Thought we played very good overtime defense. We played inspired, especially in that environment, and watching basically the crowd really get into the game late in the game. And then I thought right before half, defensively, our defensive performance right before half, even though we gave up a big 42-yard run, when all they're trying to do is just run the clock out to get to halftime, and we gave up a big run, and but our guys responded right, and we had 2 sacks, which backed them up, and took them not necessarily out of field goal range, but took them into a less than makeable range. We've got to continue to miss. We got to eliminate missed tackles. That's something that's kind of continuing to show up. I'm very concerned with that, and that's an area that we've got to get better. We've got to get better at putting our guys and getting them to understand where the leverage of the ball is and where their help is coming from. I know we worked extremely hard over that over the last during our open week and during last week's preparation. But thought we played better on the back end. That was a pleasant surprise. Again, challenging those guys from Rodney to Mikhail. They were a field throw team, so predominantly the majority of the passes were going to go to the field, which was going to challenge Christian Davis and challenge Rodney Clemens. And again, I thought Rodney played better. I thought Christian played better. Just to continue to be the player that we know he is, and what we've seen and recruited, and watch him get better. That's what it's going to take for us to get to where we want to get to over the next half of the season. Special teams, our special teams player of the game was R.C. Cox. I was really proud of him. A young man that's been dealing with injuries, and for him to come back was and to get this award was huge. I thought we continued to punt the ball well. Jamie's doing a good job of that. Averaged 43 yards. Field goal. Was really proud of Josh. We gave him had confidence enough to give him an opportunity to kick a 50-yarder, and he hit it, and he hit it well. And that's encouraging. I know that the ball curved and hit the left upright, but it wasn't because the ball wasn't hit correctly. So really proud of that, Josh, and for him to come back after that and to hit one in overtime to win the game was big, and it does a great thing for his confidence. As well as our kickoffs. Josh and Kevin both are taking on the tag team in the kickoff duties, and that's great to see. I believe we had 6 touchbacks. So overall, obviously you're very proud of the win from where our program has started and where it is today. Our guys just their culture shined through. They had just a never quit attitude. Obviously, the 4th and 26 will probably go down in the history books here for many years as a play that continues to turn this program in the direction it needs to go. And shared with our guys that have been a part of another one like that really changed the course of an entire program. Was a 4th and 16 in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. We completed Taj Boyd to DeAndre Hopkins versus LSU, and from that play forward, you can really look at just the change of attitude and belief in that entire program. And matter of fact, Taj texted me and said 4th and 26, really? And I thought that was neat, and he and I traded texts back and forth over that, but because he knows the impact that 4th and 16 had on that program and still continues to have in that program. So we hope, as I shared with him, I said we'll see in due time, it'll tell. So I know that it's a huge pick-me-up for everybody, and especially in the magnitude that the play was made. It wasn't that Trey was wide open by no stretch of the imagination. He was actually covered, and the play was defended extremely well. Again, you just made a play. That's a guy that just made a play, and that's what you ask. Flipping the script and going into this week, short week. Guys were back up here yesterday, ready to go. A lot of excitement. We've worked extremely hard in this program for the last 1,059 days to get to the point where we are right now, to be 1-0 in the Tulsa season. But that's the only thing that matters. And as we shared with our players many times, if you can continue to be 1-0 in each one of your seasons, great things will happen. Over the course of time, the little slight decisions that you make and responses that you have over the course of time add up. And it's added up to this point to where we got an opportunity to take this program to another level, to where we've been since starting and rebuilding this thing from the ground floor up. But we are playing a very much improved Tulsa team that has changed a lot of what they're doing. From a defensive standpoint, Coach Montgomery's been there now his 3rd year. Has had great success his first 2 years. Was a 10-win team last year. And defensively, they returned 7 starters. They've been a base 4-down team, but it began to play a little bit more odd each of the last 2 weeks. A team that obviously dominated Houston a couple of weeks ago at their place. And so, they're going to come out playing exceptionally hard. The but they got great size. They got an all-conference returning defender, Jesse Brubaker, very talented player that plays exceptionally hard. Jeremy Smith, the defensive end, is in the tops in all the categories in our conference, in sacks and fumble recoveries and tackles, but very active up front, moving to the eye. They do a really good job of disguising their pressure, and so we'll have to play extremely well offensively to put points on the board, because these guys have since switching over have really, I think they're giving up 18 points a game since switching over. But again, they've had some injuries and moving some guys around. But the Whitfield, the boundary safety, is a really good player. He's got great length. He's 6'3", about 215, and is very active. He started the year out at Sam linebacker and has moved a few weeks ago. Offensively, again, knowing Coach Montgomery and like I've known him for quite some time, they returned 9 offensive starters. They've at the tops in the country in rushing the football. I think they got 2 running backs in the top 50 in the country in average yards. D'Angelo Brewer, which did not play last week, nor did one of their tackles play last week against UConn. So I expect both of those guys to be back. They're number 14 in the country in rushing the football. So we're going to have to play great rush defense, and that's just what they do. That's what they've been doing, and they'll continue to do that. And they'll take their shots, stretch it vertically down the field when they feel like that the box is loaded up for the run. So that's what they've done. They've been in the top in the country in scoring offense each of the last few years, and so it's there. The scheme is there. They've executed at times. They've scored 60-something points, 50-something points, 40, and then they would drop to 13. And so again, it's been up and down, but they want to run the football, and they do a great job of it. Their wide receiver core is big, as big a group that we've seen. Average about 6'3" all the way across the board. And they have 2 guys that each have right at 500 and 400 yards, I believe. So they've got 2 receivers combined with close to 1,000 yards. The Hobbs and the Johnson kid that again, very talented young men. Again, stretch the field vertically. But offensive line is probably one of the strengths of their football team, without a doubt. They return all their guys. They got 9 returning starters on the offensive side of the ball. Definitely, after watching film of these guys, it's one of the best offensive lines that we've seen this year. They're very well coached. They knock you off the ball, and they're very sound in what they do. So we're going to have to play well, and playing well means we've got to be the best we can be today, right now. And with a short week, we'll be on the practice field today and getting these guys ready to go. But again, you have an opportunity to play for something, to take this program from where we started to where we are now. This will be a special week for these guys, and for all of our team and our coaches. Again, because we get the opportunity to come out here and make a difference. And I'm really proud of where we are in our program right now. Our culture's never been stronger, and we're going to continue to focus on that every day. Like I said, when I first got here, and I'll say it again, I'm a guy that you don't say no to. You tell me what I need to do, and that's just who I am. We know how to win. These guys are moving in the right direction, and we just got to continue to keep doing the same things that we've been doing to get us to this point. There's no magic potion, no magic dust. We're gonna sprinkle on our guys to do something different this week. That doesn't happen. You continue to do the same things that you've done to get you to this point, and you make small decisions every day that add up. So again, proud of where we are, and with that, I'll open up with questions.
So you talked about how Ben has really improved the last 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks in a row, or 3 games in a row, I should say, where he's had over 70% passing percentage. Where have you seen, what accounts for that change as it goes from 50 to 70 for the last 3 weeks? Where do you see that?
Obviously, everything starts with your preparation, and Coach Craddock does a great job of preparing not just our quarterbacks, but our entire offense and our staff of the plan that we want to put in. And you know, and a lot of it is just Ben getting comfortable again in the role of where he's at as a quarterback and as a starter, and trusting his receivers. I think that has a lot to do with it too. And knowing now that you're into the game, like you said, I mean, over the last 3 weeks, he's really shown a lot of improvement, which he has, and a lot of that has to do with just getting into a rhythm and getting into a flow of finding who you trust at wide receiver, how the scheme continues to grow and work, and then when you have playmakers like you do with the 3 running backs that we have and the wide receiver core that we have and an offensive line that protects him, you know, you get confident, and that's what you're seeing. Just his confidence level's growing and understanding what's asked of him. You know, coach says it all the time to him. And look, just operate within the system. You stay within the system's proven, and trust your playmakers, and that's what he's doing.
What kind of injury updates do you have on Tedora or Natur or some of the guys who got banged up Saturday in Cincinnati? And then how do you balance letting them recuperate and also getting a full week of preparation in on a short week?
Well, you know, you are who you are at this point in time of the season. I mean, you know, you're going into your eighth game, and so, you know, you use the open week because we knew this week was coming. We use open week to focus in on your techniques and your fundamentals. This week is you'll do some of that, but more so this week is again putting your game plan in and you know, getting your guys out there, getting them back fresh, getting their legs back up underneath them, and so there'll be a fine balance there. And how much good on good do we go? Normally we do quite a bit through the course of the week, and so that's something that we have to balance, and I have to balance as a head coach, and these guys got to, you know, they have to take ownership in the recovery process too. We got a plan. We got our training staff does a great job. Mike Morton does a great job in getting our guys back and getting their legs back up underneath them. Coach True does. So we've got a plan that we've set. These guys got to follow it, but they got to do it in above to what we've asked of them to do. And so they'll be ready. They'll be ready to go. And I'll definitely make sure we take care of them from a practice standpoint. As far as injuries, Nick Natur will be a game time decision. We'll probably know a little bit more today. So we'll see. Jacob Tedora will be back. We fully anticipate him being back. Raymond Epps will be back. So we're glad to have those 2 young men back. And I don't know if there was anybody else that just Elijah McQueen. We anticipate him being back. Delano Robinson again being back as well. And again, you know, when you get to this point in time of the season, everybody's injured. Everybody's got an ailment. Everybody hurts. It's just that's college football. It's that way all across the country right now. Everybody's got a bump and a bruise and banged up. That's just part of it. And it's just how you recover or how you manage outside of your eating habits, your sleeping habits, your patterns and stuff that's going to require the elite teams to continue to grow and get better. It's a lot of how you prepare and how you take care of your body outside of the building as well.
If Natur is unable to go, could Jacob Tedora help on the left side, or is he a right side only guy? And in which case, who would be backing up Howerton?
Yeah, you know, we would with Jacob being back, obviously we like the combination that we had right there with Jacob and Bryce at right tackle. You know, Hayden is a young man that's got a huge future ahead of him. Really excited about his future. You know, he would come in if Nick's not able to play. Obviously, he would do some left guard. You could also move some guys around if you had to. Bryce has played some guard. Bryce could move to guard. Will could move over to a left guard. You know, Evan could move into a guard. Hayden could go back into a center. I mean, there's a lot of different combinations. And Coach Fry has done a really good job of cross training. And it's just, you know, that's so much about a part of our program is to make sure that we're able to cross train guys for when you get to games like this and you get to this point in time of the season. So there's a lot of different combinations right now. So we'll see. Hopefully Nick will be back, but we'll find out.
You mentioned your concern about the tackling in the last couple of games. What can you do to correct that? Is there drills that you can work on in practice, anything specific?
Yeah, really, there's only one way to get better at tackling, and that's to tackle. And I mean, that's what it is. And we were very physical in spring. We were physical in fall camp. And then at some point, you got to be smart too as a head coach and making sure you don't injure your guys, because that happens. But we continue to do a tackle circuit every day. Coach Malone does a great job with that. A lot of it too is understanding where and how to leverage the ball. Where is your help coming from? And being under control. Sometimes you get out athleted. I mean, that's just what you do. You try to find your best athlete, match up against the lesser athlete, and put them in space. And if you can do that, get the ball to them, usually great things usually happen. But when you do that, you got to understand where your help's coming from, how to leverage the ball, keep the ball on your inside or outside shoulder. Where is it coming from on that regard? And then from that point, being under control. And some of our missed tackles are some guys out of control. We're not under control. We're not breaking down. We're coming in just coming in wild and where the one move makes you miss. So again, you just got to continue to stress it, continue to talk leverage and how to leverage the ball and where to leverage the ball. So that's something we'll continue to do and to get better at it.
Did you see improvement in that area in the second half?
I did, yeah. No, you did. There was a lot of improvement in the second half, early in the first half we had some misalignments, some missed assignments. We were not gap sound in some of our calls, whether we got knocked out of our gap or didn't get it communicated. And when that happens, you create creases, and when that happens, usually it's a bad thing. And so, but I thought our communication in the second half improved, and again to hold them to just 8 points in the second half was huge. It was you'd like to held them none in the second half. It would have made everybody would probably had about 4 or 5 years added on to their life. But that happens. That's football, but guys made plays, and I'm very proud of our guys that stepped up and made plays. Rodney Clemens again tackled very well in space. Mason Gentry continues to be very disruptive. We had guys, Kyra Mitchell is another one that's extremely disruptive. Had again, the bumps and the bruises of the season take a toll on you, but he's right there in the mix of everything. So, and then feeding off each other. We kicked the field goal in overtime to go up, and defense goes on the field, and everybody feeds off each other. Trey Quinn goes down and grabs the turnover can, and is literally standing on the sideline banging on the turnover can while the defense is out on the field. And this is a guy that's, he makes the entire team better. He makes the coaching staff better. He makes his teammates better, and everybody feeds off of each other, and therefore somebody else makes someone else better. And I know that wide receiver core is with him and Cortland and James, and man, they make a lot of people better, but just their attitude and their approach every day to work. So we're very blessed and honored to be able to coach these young men, all of them. And there's not a day goes by that we don't appreciate that. So proud of our guys, and I look forward to just being 1-0 today.
That long field goal that hit the left upright, the fact that it was that close to going in, and from where I was, it looked like it was 2/3 of the way up the post when it hit. Does that change your thinking going forward as far as how far you can be on the field and comfortably sending Josh out there?
Yeah, it does, and obviously the situation and where we're at in a 4th down call. But I thought, and I told Josh as he came off the field, and even though it hit the upright, I said, man, that thing could went from 60. And just it does. It gives us the confidence that we get in that situation again. We're not going to hesitate to bring him back out there. We feel like our protection is good. The snap hold was good, and I thought he hit it well. And so again, a lot of it is the score. A lot of it is you're down in distance, but I wouldn't hesitate at all to bring Josh back out.
One game away from bowl first time since 2012 that this program would make it to a bowl game. Does the message at all change this week? You talked about earlier this season you wanted to be looking for complacency. Does that come up this week when you're this close to that initial goal?
Well, you got to be careful. There's a lot of outside noise that has a tendency to leak in, and so it does. We talked to our team, and matter of fact, last night about complacency, and the fact that we've won 5 games before, and we've got that shirt, and that's not a fun shirt to wear. 5-7 is not a fun shirt to wear. So it's not the first 7 games that we'll be remembered by. It'll be the last 5, and it'll be one at a time. And so that's the message: is look, we're gonna what has got us from 34 months ago to right now today. It wasn't some grand scheme that we've done just this year. Matter of fact, it had very little to do with that. It was the continuous of the decisions that were made 34 months ago every day compounded that had gotten us to this point. So we're not going to change what we've done. We're going to continue to go back and say, hey, look, we're on the right track. We're going to continue to make those small decisions every day, and it's all about your response to get you to where you are today. And to do things difficult in life, and this has been a very difficult 34 months for everybody involved in the rebuild. It takes time. To do things that people say are impossible to do takes a little bit longer. So, we're right there in that 1-0. Just be 1-0 this week, and you can take this program just a little bit further. You can raise the bar for the expectations of this program, but just being 1-0 today and tomorrow, and just focus on what you can control, and don't lose sight of the small decisions that we've made along the way to guide us. It's really what it is.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.